Now we want to look at solving these cubic equations with the assistance of the factor theorem. So here we have our equation x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2. Now what we know is that whatever the roots are, f of that root or f of that solution should give you 0. Now, usually the first solution we usually get it by what we call trial and error. So we're going to try different values of x and see which one of those values equate the equation to 0. Now usually when you're trying these values, you try the values that are factors of the constant. So for example, you wouldn't try 5 or 3, or you wouldn't try any number larger than 2. Right? You want whatever you try, you want it to be a factor of whatever the constant is. So for me here is just 4 possibilities. You can try 1, 2, or the negative of those, -1 and -2. Good? Let us try, start with 1. Let's try 1 and see if 1 is a factor. So, let's find f of 1. So f of 1 is equal to 1 cubed, which is 1, minus 2 times 1, which is minus 2, minus 1, plus 2. What is that equal to now? The 1 and the 2 give us positive 3, and then you have a minus 2, minus 1. So that's 0. Alright? So since x equal 1 work, that means therefore x minus 1 is a factor. Alright, in other words, f of 1 will give you 0 in this function. So when x minus 1 is a factor of the expression over here, now we need to find the other factors. And to get the other factors, we use long division. So we have x minus 1, and then we divide in x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2, right? So let's divide x minus 1 into that. So we have x into x cubed, that's x squared. X squared times that, we get x cubed minus x squared. And then we subtract, right? Remember when you're subtracting the term above, subtract the term below. So it's x cubed take away x cubed, which is 0. And then minus 2x squared minus x squared. So it becomes minus 2x squared plus x squared. Right? Which is minus 1x squared. We carry on this negative x, right? We'll divide again. So we say x into negative x squared, that's minus x. And then we multiply across now. So x times x, well, negative x times x, sorry, that's negative x squared. And negative x times -1, that's positive x. Alright, we subtract. We're subtracting. When you subtract, these cancel. What you have now is minus x. Minus x, that's minus 2x. Alright? You bring down the positive 2. So you get x into minus 2x, that's minus 2. And minus 2 times these terms, so minus 2 times x, that's minus 2x. And minus 2 times minus 1, that's positive 2. Now when you subtract, of course, you get 0. So therefore, what we have over here, therefore, yes, what this is saying. Let me just show you something before I write what I'm going to write next. Remember, if I say to you that 4 into, let's say 20. If I say 4 into 20 give you 5. It means that 20 can be written as 4 times 5. It means that 20 can be written as 4 times 5. Alright? What are 4 times 5? So in the same way, if we say x minus 1 into this, give us this. It means that the x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2 equals 0. If this can be written as, so what we have under the thing here, this can be written as x minus 1 times x squared minus x minus 2. Alright? So this, the divisor times the quotient give you the dividend. So that just as how 4 times 5 give you 20, x minus 1 times the quotient here give you the dividend. Alright, and that's how we can move from here to here. Now we have a quadratic. Alright, so we have a quadratic, and I have my videos. Check out my videos on factorizing quadratic. I have many of them. Alright, so I'll just skip a step here. I take it we are all comfortable with the factorizing the quadratic. We shouldn't have any problem doing that at this level. Alright, so which two numbers multiply to give minus 2 now at the end now? So it's minus 2, and then of course that's positive 1. And remember, you can always check it in. Always expand x plus 2, x minus 1, and see if you get x squared minus x minus 2. Because this is all about rewriting the x squared minus x minus 2. So you have 3 brackets, so therefore equate each of them to 0. And if x minus 1 equals 0, x equal to 1, x equal to minus 1, x equal to 2. Alright, let's try another one. Alright, so here we have another one. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x minus 6 equal to 0. And again, it's all about finding the first factor. Right? We'll find the first factor, and it's trial and error. But we're not doing the trial and error. Of course, you have to try. We're trying values which are factors of the constant. Alright? In this case, 6. So, okay, so now I'm going to try 1 as a first option. Alright? So we find f of 1. Let's find f of 1. F of 1 is 1 cubed, which is 1. Minus 4 times 1 squared, that's minus 4. Plus 1. Plus 6, and that's what? Plus 1 plus 6, and this is 1 and 6, 7, 7 and 1, 8, 8, so that's equal to 4. So over there say x minus 1 is not a factor. So we try another one. Let's try minus 1. Try minus 1, we get minus 1 cubed, that's minus 1. Minus 4 times 1, that's minus 4, plus x, x is minus 1, plus 6, so this gives us, so minus 1 works, alright, and if it didn't work, we try it, we go again. So since x equal to minus 1 works, then the factor is actually x plus 1. Alright? Alright, so the factor is actually x plus 1. So therefore, x plus 1 is a factor. Alright? Since f of negative 1 gives us 0. Good? Let's find the other factors now. We can do so by long division. So we have x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6, let's divide. So x into x cubed, that's x squared. And then x squared now times these values. So x squared times x, that's x cubed. X squared times 1, that's positive x squared. We subtract, right? We are always subtracting. X cubed take away x cubed, that's 0. Minus 4 minus x squared, that's minus 5x squared. Bring down the positive x. And we say x into negative 5x squared, that's negative 5x. So negative 5x times these terms now is negative 5x times x, that's negative 5x squared. And negative 5x times 1, that's minus 5x. Alright, and then we're subtracting. Again, minus that, minus that, so it will be positive, so it cancel. X take away negative x, that's positive 6x, right? Can become x plus 5x. Bring down the 6. We have positive 6. Then we say x into 6x, that's positive 6. And then 6 times x plus 1, so it's 6x plus 6. 6x plus 6. And of course, you subtract that, you're left with 0, which we expect. If you don't get 0, then it means something went wrong, because x plus 1 is a factor. So when you're dividing by x plus 1, we should not have a remainder. Alright, so therefore then, just separate this. Alright. So this was a problem we're asked to solve. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6 equals 0. And of course, x plus 1 times the quotient will give us that. So this can be rewritten as x plus 1 times the quotient we have there, which is x squared minus 5x plus 6. And as CAPE students, we should be able to close our eyes and factorize a quadratic, right? And I have many videos in my channel. On my channel, you can refresh yourself, alright? So that's x minus 2, x minus 3. Alright, that's basic factorization. How you test if you factorize it correctly? Just expand the bracket, and you will see it's factored correctly, right? So we equate each bracket to 0. So x plus 1 equal to 0. Remember, we solve by factorization. Equate each bracket to 0. So x equal to minus 1. X equal to 2. X equal to 3. And those are our solutions. In other words, any of these values that you plug into this equation here, it will equate it to 0.